Hey everybody, welcome to another one of Chris's beer reviews. So, thanks for joining me. I got like one of my favorite beers of all time this year, sitting right next to me. Uh, you have no idea how much I'm looking forward to this review. Yesterday, I worked from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., drove to another job site, worked from 4 p.m. until midnight, got home at 1, crashed, went to work at 7 this morning, just got home now, 4 p.m. So, yeah, this is one of those well-deserved brews that just need everyone's undivided attention because it is so special. Alright, so if you saw my video where I unveil all the crazy holiday gift packs that came out this year, you will have already seen this in my reviews. I'm going to be reviewing what I can't find on the LCBO shelves anymore. Fuller's Past Masters Double Stout. This is a 500. I'm quite sure. Yeah, 500 milliliter bottle here. We got a 7.4% ABV, and it is a $3.75 bottle, which some people might call that steep, but I've bought beers for the same size, lesser quality, more expensive, times 2 and times 3. So this has been the beer of the year for me. If those aren't familiar with double stouts, they're called double stouts because they got higher alcohol content than your average beer. We got an official Past Masters label here, and it says, since 1845, every Fuller's head brewer has kept a handwritten book of brews. The Past Masters series uses this precious archive of brewing knowledge to revive selected long-lost beers for today's connoisseurs. It's a glimpse into our unique brewing history, and I'm very happy that they did that, I tell you that. Double Stout is the second in the series, brewed to a recipe from the 4th of August, 1893. This is the first time I'm ever going to say that I wish that I was alive in 1843. 1893. A time when stout meant strong. Its signature ingredient is Plumage Archer barley, which is very interesting because I'm not a huge barley fan. It says, carefully malted and kilned using C19th methods, whatever that means. And yeah, it starts giving a little bit of a explanation as to how it tastes, and I don't really want to get in there. I want to try to go into this from a blind perspective here. So, for those who don't know, stouts are one of those beers that can pretty much be drank out of almost every glass and enjoyed just as equally in all of them. So, I grabbed the Samuel Smith glass here since I don't have a Fuller's glass. It'll do just fine. It'll also most likely hold 500 milliliters. So just to make things easier for me, I'm going to see there's tape on both sides. To keep the cap from flying, I'm going to rip off one side. And you know what? Fuller's is a freaking genius for this, okay? You know when your store sticks tape onto the sides or onto the head, onto the cap? Clearly I've been working for too long here. And you pull it off and you want to save the cap, for some reason, I don't know, I like to save my caps. The cap is almost ruined because you got to take all the sticky stuff off. This is kind of like a metallic looking ribbon tape. Comes off, clean as a whistle, no sticky residue whatsoever. So that's coming off. Alright. This is coming off too. Says Griffin Brewery. Alright, so here goes. It's all in the pot, people. Alright. Well, anything there? I don't know. Alright. Smells mighty fine. Now I can't say that I've aged this because this has only been on my balcony for about 2.5 months since its release date. Some of the things that you can tell immediately are it's got a gorgeous, gorgeous head. Like right now, it looks kind of dark, sorry, it looks kind of light because of the light. This light over top of me kind of is deceiving. But if I help you out here, we got like a really nice dark mocha looking color. Yeah, kind of like a little bit. It resembles like a very light molasses, almost kind of like molasses is black, right? But if you were to take molasses and mix it with water, it would kind of have a little bit of a brownish tint to it. That is kind of how this is coming out off here. We poured a 2-finger head easily. We got a black stout, blacker than they come. We have no red tint on the side, which is obviously impacted here by the doubleness of the stout. And yeah, we got gorgeous small to medium-sized bubbles. Oh, I love that smell. It's kind of like a roasted smell. You can also pick up on a little bit of the booze. Nothing wrong with that. Again, this is a double stout, so you got to know what you're getting yourself into. This beer's so good. I love it. I love it. All right. So we are exactly where we left off before. It's time to go in for the kill. Ah, that's really good. Really good. Got a nice super duper roasted taste, complemented by a hint of alcohol. And when I'm talking a hint of alcohol, I'm talking like a nice thick boozy taste, like not an overwhelming boozy taste to the point where you're kind of like, booze, right? Perfect balance of booziness, I'm telling you. The roastedness mixed with the barley, it almost kind of, that's why I haven't been able to pick up on the barley back in the day. Not back in the day, when I've had this before, is because when you mix the roasted taste with barley, for some reason, you come out with kind of like a roasted, nutty approach in this beer, easily. It's all over the center, mid-region of the palate. Honestly, people, if this could come year-round, I'd buy it every time I was going to the store. Highly recommend this beer. Highly, highly, highly. And for this to be brewed in 1894, all right, let's put this into perspective. Beer now, beer then. How come there's still so much crap out there now, guys? Please answer that question for me. How come we're not bringing back some of the stellar recipes like this? Fullers, thank you so much. You top of the morning to you. Thank you very much for brewing this for the world. It is a magnificent beer. I tried to take advantage of it on the shelves as much as I could while it was here. This. Now, I love stouts. I can actually say that if you don't like a stout, if you don't mind a bit of a boozy taste, this might be the first stout that you like. If you want to compare, I like comparing things to the popular Guinness. Number one, I hate to say it, but it is overrated. Number two, it's overrated. So what does that mean? That means that the common knowledge around society is that everybody's going to relate a stout to Guinness. It is the most popular stout in the world. It is also the, I love mentioning this, but it has also been proven that you can survive off of Guinness alone for a quite significant amount of time. Anyways, aside from that stuff, the reason why I wanted to compare this to Guinness is because for people that know Guinness, people who do or do not like Guinness, Guinness is so smooth that when it goes down, it almost kind of feels like nothing's there. That's kind of what I don't like about it. I can't really tell you what people do really love about it because I'm not one of those huge fans of Guinness, right? But this is nice and smooth. But it goes down with substance. It goes down with body. It goes down with proportion. You know that it is going down your throat, and you know that it is heavy. One of the only downfalls to this beer, in my personal opinion, is that, like the majority of beers, and this is incredibly hard to avoid in a brewing from a brewing perspective, is the fact that the closer that you get to the bottom of the glass, the much more intense the booziness begins to come through on your palate. So right now I'm like right about at the beginning, you're kind of like, you know, I can really taste, you know, the 7.4%. It's not too much, it's not too little. As soon as you start getting about halfway, you start thinking to yourself, how come this tastes like an 8% alcohol ABV? Sorry, starting to lose my mind here. How come this tastes like an 8% ABV? Then you start getting close to the bottom here, and you're going to start going because you're going to start tasting it from like a closer to a 9% or a 10% alcohol by volume factor. So I'm going to finish this for you on camera just so that I can get it down. Still around 8%. Now people are saying to me every once in a while, like, how do you know what tastes? What's supposed to taste like 5%? How are you supposed to know what tastes like 8%? When you've tried as many beers as I have, you can get a general understanding of the average. How can I put this? You can get a general understanding of the average kind of like locale as to where something tastes versus what it is established as for an ABV. So, you know, if you got a 5% ABV, you know that it's going to taste somewhere between 4 and 6%. If you got a 7% ABV, it's going to taste between 6, 8%. You know, it kind of you gotta look at it kind of like that, right? So when I kind of average out all the beers that I've had, I can find my little, you know, gray areas here and there that are really easy for me to work with just from my experience. Getting to about 8.5% now, for sure. I don't know. It's not becoming as alcoholic tasting as I remember. So that could also be because of the long hours I've been working. Almost went down the wrong tube there. Sorry, I got some goosebumps from that one. Alright, this should be it. Getting close to 15 minutes, and that's YouTube's limit. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo! Last sip is definitely around 10% mark, man. Whoa. Whoa. 10-11% mark is the last sip. You know what though? I'm going to give that a bonus because some of the things that I don't like about beer in general is that other beers, right, like IPAs, specifically IPAs, excuse me, they tend to get more and more and more and more bitter and more kind of like a syrupy complex going on there. I don't really like when beers change taste like that, but I don't mind if a beer starts getting a little bit more boozier near the ending because it's also a significant reminder about what you're actually drinking. If you're finishing your beer and you're like, wah, you know you shouldn't be having too many of those. It gives you a good idea to chill back. Plus, you get a little bit of a variety in the beer that you're drinking, right? So I'm just going to lay it down. I got a few, 35 seconds left. This is one of my favorite beers of 2012 right now. I'm going to give it a 4.7, maybe a 4.8 out of 5. I love it to death. If this was a 10-point system, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 easy. And yeah, never had a perfect scored beer to this day. So you never know when that's going to happen, all right? Anyways, people, don't drink and drive, but drink responsibly. Cheers.